it looks bad. What do we talk about when the price is going down like this?
I think, like everyone on Twitter, we talked about how we called it, because we did.
You know what we need? We just need Binance to list clout tokens.
I'd be retired by now, and I'm already retired.
There's only one way out from here, and that's up.
You guys already know what it is. Weekly wrap. We got the biggest moves, biggest trades. Coins going straight to zero. I'm Luke. This is my co-host, Trader Main. If the outlook's going to be lower prices again, though, dude, as I said, people are going to be scared to tune in. We're going to get the up-only rep.
Which is funny because I was on up-only this week. Literally, we talked about the curse, and literally the next day, the price knew. It's real. The bad juju is real. But yeah, I mean, listen, feels good to be right. Obviously, doesn't look great out there. Some of the things we'll talk about on the show today, I think, will kind of lead us to, you know, what's going to be coming macro-wise and if things are going to change. But yeah, doesn't look good. Still in a big kind of range. So, you know, that's the hope for now, but we'll have to wait and see.
We got Bitcoin in the 19Ks. We have ETH at 1,400, still sitting above the 1K line. We're not back at the lows. We're not the lowest we've been, but stocks are down. And what started this week, first news event that didn't help us out was the Jackson Hole meeting, which is a giant meeting. Central bankers, economists, our Fed goes and meets, and they talk about... They basically come up with ways to just nuke the market, is my understanding of how the agenda works. It looks like Jerome Powell, par for the course, said, look, we're going to continue tightening. Even if inflation peaked, we want inflation to be at 2%. And you know, even though the market knew this, we sell off. We don't learn.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. During the craziness of the bull run, right, we had all the funny Jerome Powell memes with the cash printer.
God, I miss those.
Those were the good old days. Now it's like, fuck your calls.
Yeah.
Because, bulls have been getting slaughtered for a while. And like you said, macro looks like it's going to remain unchanged. He mentioned in July that we're likely, wouldn't be surprised if we see another rate hike at the next meeting. Touched on that again here at Jackson Hole, saying, yeah, we ran up, what was it, 75 basis points last time.
Yep.
Would not be surprised at all if that's what we see in September. So same shit, different day. Not looking good on the macro in terms of, you know, the Fed pivoting and changing their tune on the economy, which what we're seeing so far is bad for risk assets, which for now includes crypto.
So I saw someone tweet this week that macro is kind of like astrology for high net worth individuals. We're at the point now where it's been in our face for so long. I didn't even care to tune in and see what happened after. Like I waited a day or two. Like I wanted to get everyone's takes. I just don't think there's any edge. If you're watching macro news and Fed meetings and what Jerome Powell says, I think that looking at his words and then trying to trade the 1 hour on Bitcoin, it's just not a winning strategy, dude. Like I hope other people out there have realized that by now. Even if macro is bad and it's playing such a big role, I don't think it helps too much to focus on that shit every single day.
No, you know, I've got some friends who, you know, former prop traders, and they're like legit scalpers. So like these are the people who they make their bread and butter on those super low time frames. Those are the only people that should be, in my opinion, watching these types of, you know, meetings and conferences, you know, with a magnifying glass and actually trying to make a reaction live, because you do sometimes get that, you know, jolt of volatility. You might get a fake out to one side and then a retracement, but these guys are dialed in. This is part of their strategy. Right. I have strategies that involve using, you know, the Monday high and low. So that's something I look for. You can build this into your system, I guess. But for the average investor, the average trader, I'm completely with you. I didn't read about the updates until a few days after everything went down. I literally like went on YouTube and I was like, Jackson Hole summary. And I had someone else who was paying more attention give me the TLDR, because that's all I really need to know. And like you said, we kind of, was anyone really expecting a big shift? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think the one maybe, and this is me really reaching, the one positive people were thinking about, and I asked Jordy Alexander about this. I talked to him earlier this week. I said, you know, what if inflation's peaked, right? Is it wrong to think that if inflation peaked, maybe we price the worst of it in and we can start to rise just because people like the expectation, it can't get any worse, right? It's not if it's getting worse, the rate of change of it getting worse is behind us. And he said, yeah, kinda. You know, that's kind of a ridiculous way to think about it if we're still tightening. It's just, you're really reaching for bullishness if that's, you have to go 2 steps past the macro, what people could think about his previous meeting. It's just, I don't know.
If the only bullish take you can have is that, well, how much worse can it get?
Yeah.
You're grasping at straws, and I think that's what a lot of people are trying to do. I personally think people underestimate how long some of these things take to unwind. And inflation peaking, I think, is just one piece of the macro jigsaw puzzle that is unwinding in the economy. You have to look at jobs. You have to look at the credit markets. You have to look at what the dollar is doing. If this is really the great crash that everyone's been talking about, we've been in this ultra bubble for the last 10, 15 years of everything go up bubble, and it needs to actually unwind and reset. I think it can take a lot longer than people think.
Yep.
So, I think also if you're a crypto centric person, bear markets are 6 to 12 months. You know what I mean? And then we get another 20x, plus just on Bitcoin immediately after. And they're like, oh, it's a market cycle. It goes up like crazy, bear market up like crazy. Most traditional assets, go through maybe one or two bear markets, in your lifetime, as opposed to in the last 10 years where we've had 4 complete market cycles in crypto. So I think, like you said, we're grasping at straws, trying to find a bullish narrative here. I think if, the worst being over with, maybe that's the start of something, but I do still think there's a lot more to unwind.
Yeah, I think everyone's slowly realizing that. All right, let's move on from macro. We've had enough of that. God, I cannot wait until we have green candles and it's bullish again. Let's just never even say the word macro.
Let's not name the podcast until the market's bullish again. How about that?
Let's wait on that. All right.
We're on that trajectory right now.
We are. Second thing, trajectory just got confirmed for the Ethereum merge. Yeah. It's happening at a time where we're in the depths of a bear market, which ironically is kind of saving us. And the reason I'm saying that, so ETH Foundation just officially stated the merge will take place sometime between September 10th and September 20th. So mark your calendars, that's happening. Everything's been approved on testnets. It looks like it went smooth. Now, if we weren't in such a shitty macro condition and ETH was pumping, right? ETH is nearly at 3-year highs versus Bitcoin. If Bitcoin was up, ETH would be probably pretty close to its all-time highs in USD. If that was the scenario, and ETH is at 2K or 3K right now, and the merge happens, that's kind of setting us up for a buy the rumor, sell the news type event. I think macro might be saving us. We're already selling off. It's kind of hard for us to sell off and then nuke right after the event. Like, we're already selling off. So in a weird way, it's good that ETH is selling off, but I don't know. What's your take on the merge is happening? At least we have that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that the merge is going to go through is inherently bullish for Ethereum. I think long-term bullish for the ETH case in general. It's almost like with every time, ETH is pumping, right? As soon as people start talking about the flippening, it's like, okay, right? And I had a few Discords, a few Telegrams I'm in where the flippening talk was coming out. ETH has to get to 0.1676 to flip Bitcoin. It's like, okay, this is probably, and we talked about this and we fucking nailed it, right? We talked about this. I was like, we think that this move from 800 and change to 2K is that bullishness being priced in. And if it managed to stay up there until the merger, I definitely thought it was going to sell off. Yep. It ended up selling off well before. So I do agree with you. I think, the fact that we're not on some massive 100% ripper where we have to go through that pain of, okay, the news is here and everyone's going to sell the news. But yeah, overall bullish. And I think, I kind of like that we're getting bullish news and not a necessarily already bullish market. If you look at the bull run, for example, when we were rallying past 10K, I think we were near 30 when Tesla announced they were buying Bitcoin. That had a huge reaction, right, in price. The market, kind of received that news very positively. And in a bear market, right, negative news has, an extremely effective impact. All the 3AC shit, Luna stuff, price tanked. So when price is strong and things are bullish, generally, you're going to see bullish news have a positive reaction and bad news not really do much to price, right? It doesn't react that negatively to bad news. So one thing to watch, and I think it's a little too early with this ETH news because I think we're still bearish overall, is I want to see how the market, ingests this news. And the sign, in my opinion, maybe not for this piece of news, but in the future, for when the market's actually turning around, is you're going to start seeing that when bullish catalysts and bullish news come out, the market reacts positively to it. So I think it's going to be an interesting time to watch. But like you said, I'm kind of glad that we're not near 3K or something. Everyone getting excited that we might go back to all-time high before what would appear be a very obvious sell the news event happened.
It's just such a weird set. It would have been more fun to trade, obviously, if we were in a full bull market. But as you said, I just think it gives us like a buffer. It gives us a cushion. No one has really crazy expectations now, and I think that's probably the right way to approach something.
We don't want to go into the merger with everyone thinking that Ethereum's gonna like make a new all-time high and flip Bitcoin, right? I'd rather everyone be super bearish on ETH. And
that's how we are.
I'm bullish on ETH long term. Like you said, I think the merger is super bullish long term, and that's why when I think we bottom, and like I've said on this podcast before, 500 to 1,000 Ethereum, I think buying in that range is great, and I'm a long-term bull on Ethereum for sure.
All right, topic 3. We're going to go into the conspiracy zone for this. I hate to do this, but I mean, it's put the tinfoil hats on. This one gets a little bit weird. So a tweet came out today, as everything starts in crypto. It starts on Twitter, and a site apparently leaked some videos, and it has to do with Avalanche. So the name of the site is called Crypto Leaks. If you're still following, it is a Twitter account that said they are here to expose some of the biggest crimes, conspiracies, whatever, wrongdoings in crypto. Apparently there's a lawyer who works for Avalanche, and his sole objective is to go after other layer ones. So projects like Binance, projects like Solana, and if he can keep them busy with frivolous lawsuits, not only does it cost them money, but it puts them in the eye of the regulators, and it keeps Avalanche out of the eye of the regulators. Now, usually a story like this, if someone tweets out some crazy shit, if it's just a conspiracy, people make memes about it, it gets some likes, whatever. Things got out of hand because CZ retweeted it. He said, I haven't read the article, don't know if we can trust it, but I'm going to retweet this out to millions of people. Did you get to see the vids? What's going on here? What's your take on this? Is this real with Avalanche? Are they really stirring trouble?
Well, the good news is I used to work with Avalanche. I used to be a client of my recruitment company, but no more. So I'm glad we clearly knew that something bad was brewing over there, and we ended that relationship. Or maybe they just wouldn't hire any of our candidates. One of those two things. But yeah, I mean, listen, a little bit of a jumping the gun there, I think, by CZ. Like I think you told me before this video started, going back and watch it and checking out some of the earlier posts from this person, a lot of kind of crazy type of theories posted from them. So how credible are they?
Yeah, I scrolled down because I was super curious. Like I like Avalanche. I think if I were to rank layer ones that I think even have a chance of surviving or doing well in the future, it's going to be Ethereum, Solana, and Avalanche. Everything else is a very sharp drop off after. So I was curious. I scrolled down on this Twitter account, Crypto Leaks. Their first article they tweeted out was a conspiracy that FTX was, set to destroy a token called ICP. And if you guys are unfamiliar with ICP, it's one of the worst performing coins in crypto history. I think it's still down 99%. It's a layer one that just never got off the ground. Its name is Internet Computer, I believe is the name of the project. It's a dumpster fire, and I guess this is their blog, but they also claim to be unbiased. I mean, it's a fucking mess, dude. I don't know why CZ tweeted it.
I think it's funny because what that guy doesn't realize, or whoever's behind that blog, FTX and Data, their job is to destroy every coin, not just ICP. Anything that has a coin launched gets a perp on FTX that gets shorted into the ground for infinity time. So ICP is not special in that regard. But look at Oxygen Protocol or any of those Solana coins that launched and like still fully, massively bloated market caps and are down 99%. But I do think that it is, if it's true, it's crazy. The TLDR basically, from my understanding, is Avalanche, AVAX, they're behind all of these, lawsuits and litigations against other layer ones. And if you have a lawsuit going on of this nature, you go through something called discovery, where you have to provide information. It's required by law. And this could be chat logs. It could be proprietary information. We don't even know. And if it's true, like CZ said, Avalanche could have a lot of dirt on on other companies in crypto, other layer ones. And that's pretty crazy. Again, I think a little bit dangerous of CZ to tweet something that maybe wasn't vetted. He's got a huge audience. and he's potentially one of the richest people in the world. Definitely is one of the richest people in the world. So, you know, he's got a lot of sway, and what he says does matter. So to just, I mean, it's kind of Trump-like, right? Like Trump would retweet something fucking random, and his team probably
and he knows it.
What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
Light cures COVID. Like,
yeah, there's two sides to this. Part of me wants to absolutely believe it's true because this is a whole new sector of the bear market that we never explored in the past, where layer ones are hiring lawyers to attack other layer ones and start conspiracies. Like we are deep if that's what's happening, and we're also due for a very entertaining next couple months. The other side of me thinks it is just ridiculous. Imagine if CZ, when those articles used to come out every single week where the Binance headquarters got raided by whatever police jurisdiction they're in. We saw articles like that every single week on Reuters, on Bloomberg, on whatever. You know, he used to have to tweet almost every day, our office didn't get raided. We're not shutting down. Our office didn't get raided. It's just funny to see the tables turn, dude. He sees an opportunity where he can show a little Binance coin. Why not? Why not throw a little retweet? Spice it up.
Why not? That's why we're bullish on BNB, baby.
Exactly. So good luck to Avalanche. I hope it's not true. For anyone watching, check out the thread. I want to hear you guys take. Comment down below if you think it's true. We got one more section for you guys. This one, we're letting you guys get involved. We asked for questions from the audience. Let's see what we have this week. Did anyone submit a question? First one's from Batman. He said, wow, Maine, it's a little bit personal. He said, Maine, how much do you weigh? Squats with 405 with a pause is impressive. What are you weighing in at?
Batman, that is a bit of a personal question, but anything for the Cape Crusader. I'm weighing about 205 now. I was planning on doing a cut before the summer, but got down to like 195 and then remembered that I love beer and carbs. So I lift to look okay with my shirt off and be able to eat not great. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, I'm definitely hitting some PRs. I'm not squatting 405 with the pause. I'm squatting 315 with the pause, deadlifting 405 with a pause at the knee, but still pretty good numbers, I'd say, for a 32-year-old man.
Not bad, dude. I honestly would just love to weigh 205. I don't squat. I skip leg day every single day of the week. So I'm going to just completely forget.
We will build you, brother. We will build you. All my lifters know, go mad. Gallon of milk a day.
Gallon of milk I'm cool with. I'm not about the leg day, but I would love to weigh 205. All right, here we go. Elijah, second question. This is actually a good one. He said, enjoying the show. Appreciate it. He said, just one question. Are we going up and down? And this is actually a nice way to wrap the show because we always like to let Maine just predict shit, I guess. Maine, up or down? What should we do this week, dude? You're 100%. And the way I view this, either you keep adding 100% and we have a money printer, or you're wrong and we start going up. So just, where are we going, dude?
There you go. So, I mean, past performance does not predict future results. That being said, I'm expecting to nail it yet again. Right now, guys, I actually am looking to get some long exposure in the market. My hope is that we have a range forming here between 17K and what looks like to be the top right now around 25,000. That's my hope, and I still do think that the bottom is not in. With what we just talked about on the macro, looking at stocks, I don't think the bottom's in yet. I think we will, at the very least, run that 17K low. Do we make a higher low at 10K, 12K, 13, 14K? I don't know yet. We're going to have to wait and see what it looks like when it happens. But I'm hoping that the accumulation range is between, $15,000 to $30,000. Like, that's what I would love to see for crypto here. So I'd like to see a large range for them. So right now, I'm actually hoping that we have a little bit of bullishness, at least to start this week. Unfortunately, I will be looking to short any sort of significant bounce. But I've placed some bids in at the market. What are we trading at right now? I already long some at 19.5. I have orders just sub 19K as well. So like 18.7, 18.9, a couple more at 19.2. And my first set of bids hit today at 19.5. So I'm hoping we get a little bit of relief. And I am looking to short that bounce. So I don't know how high that's going to go yet. But if I'm looking at Bitcoin, the first area of interest that jumps out to me, we'll throw up a chart here. It's like 21.5. Okay. So that would put us over that little consolidation that we had last week. We run those highs, maybe blow out some late shorters. But then unfortunately, I think we might get another leg down after that.
You know what'd be interesting about that setup is go back to 2018 bear market when we dropped from 6K to 3K. For weeks, people were saying it's all over, all-time highs not achievable anymore. You know, that was the last bull run we've had. Altcoins will never recover. And we range from like, we go from 3K to 4K, people would get excited. We'd dump back to like 3,200. We'd go from 3,200 up to 4,500. We'd dump back to like 3,500. Like it was this constant, we're stuck in a range. People get pretty excited and say that had to be the worst, right? Bounce 20, 40, 50%, come all the way back down. And we did that for 3 or 4 months. And if what you're describing plays out, I think it starts to look pretty similar. A bottoming range where every time we're at the lows, people think it's all fucking over. And then when we bounce, everyone gets bullish to the top. I mean, this is a range trader's dream. This is, you know, if you're an active trader, this is nice. For anyone else, if you're an investor and you like checking your phone and seeing the coins go up, this is just not fun.
But this is what you want. What we need to hope is that we are doing that. We're in the 3 to 5K bottoming range, and it's just going to be painful, and that we're not at the 6K floor area where we're bouncing. Everyone thinks we're going back to all-time high, and then we dump again. And each bounce subsequently getting weaker, bouncy ball meme, then the real 50% floor gets cut out of the market, because that is still possible too. This 17 to 20K area, we might bounce off of it 3 or 4 times, but if each of those bounces makes a lower high from 25K, guess what? That floor ain't holding. What you want to see is a range, because what's happening in a range is accumulation. The most amount of Bitcoin that was transferred to strong hands last bull market happened in that like 3 to 10K area when prices were low and we were accumulating down there. That's what you want to see.
If you're a price action trader, you do this all day, every day, go for it. But if you like to swing at a couple altcoins because your friends talk about them, you know, stop texting back those friends for maybe a couple weeks. Go get beers with them. Go play golf. Do whatever you need to do, but chill out on getting too aggressive if it's not a full-time thing.
You got to know what your strengths are. And unfortunately for most people, trading is not a strength, right? A lot of people make money in the bull run because everything's going up. It's easy, right? This is a much harder environment to carve out gains because you might have an altcoin like Solana that ran, 20, 30%. But if you don't take profit at the right time, that can get erased. Look at what happened I posted an SPX chart and an Ethereum chart and a Bitcoin chart, like 6 weeks of up. 2 weeks later, completely retraced.
Yeah.
Right. So that can happen in a day, right? It can be like, oh man, I'm up 20% on this Solana long I took 4 days ago. This is awesome. And then the entire move can be round tripped all the way back. So you definitely got to be just as important as to know when you're entering and why. You got to know where to take profit, because it's not a bull run. Things aren't just you can't just buy and be like, there's a very good chance a month from now it's going to be up, even if there's some down along the way. So know your skills, know your strengths, and stick to them. If you're not an active trader, I don't know why you're staring at the screen all day, man. Go outside, touch some grass, watch some TV, do something else.
Touch some grass. Go check out the new John McAfee documentary. It's fucking fascinating, dude. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Check that out tonight.
For everyone watching, go check that out. I think he's still alive. We could see Coin of the Day. That's one more conspiracy for you.
John McAfee's alive. Bull market is on.
Dude, I'm telling you, once you watch it, your mind's blown. I had like tingles. It was nuts. But I don't know. I mean, it's also a huge conspiracy. It's an ex-girlfriend that lives in Honduras, so it's hard to believe. But anyways, we're going to leave you guys on that note. Maine, I hope the heater continues because it means we get a little bit of a bounce this week. One note for you guys watching, we need more questions, all right? Don't ask Maine how much he weighs. You can. We're happy to answer stuff like that, but let us know what you want to hear about. Topics, coins, conspiracies. We are going to keep the streak alive of not having a name. We might have picked one today. You guys might hear about it next week, but we're going to keep the streak alive of not choosing a name. Maine, I think that's all we got, man.
Sounds good, man. Talk to you soon.
Cheers,
see you guys.